ahead and start us off. Welcome to Unrolled. This is the worst cigar podcast on the internet. We're your host. My name is Mike. This is Chuck. And today we're probably not going to talk about much of anything, but I'm sure you'll get at least one laugh out of it.
Maybe.
So sit back, cut your cigar, light your cigar, smoke your cigar with us. And today we're going to unroll an STL Especial from our homeboy Scott. And I really like these cigars, so I'm actually going to smoke one while we're unrolling this one.
Yeah, I don't think we've rolled anything of Scotch yet.
Right, you know what?
Unrolled anything of Scotch yet.
Right, yeah, I think you're right, because we talk about, we're getting kind of through the humidor in 46 episodes. We probably haven't done anything from Crux. We could probably do a Crux cigar. I kind of think we did, actually.
No, I don't remember it.
I don't know if we did or not. We could do a Crux. We did our fat ones. We should have done the 770 today. That's what we should have done. Since we
did the Chillin' Moose, the Hellion.
Yeah, so we went 660, 6x66.
Well, we did this last time too. We broke it up with something in the middle. So
yeah, there you go. So stay tuned next week. We'll do a big block.
There ain't many big blocks in there.
Yeah, there's more coming.
Could have done Padron, but they're all in Alton.
You were down there. Why didn't you just pick up a box to bring up here?
I'm not like the other guys. I don't just go to the other store and rob them of their cigars.
We sell more down there, so that's why all the inventory is down there. So you got to let me know when we're out. So
but I have none, and there's 3 boxes. So who sells what?
So you have to, because you only had 1 box for the last 6 months, where they've been through 4 boxes.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
I didn't even know you reordered again yet.
Yeah, I did. If we don't get that TP in here soon, I won't be ordering anything. I gotta check that email. Maybe it's in the email.
Sold 2 cutters and a lighter Saturday.
The new Calibre stuff?
Yep.
Good.
So how are they doing on those?
They've sold at least 4 cutters, and I don't know if what lighters they sold.
I've sold at least 4 of those cutters.
Yeah, they sold 2 of the SVs like the first day. The straight cut and the V cut.
Right.
They sold 2 of those the first day. So
I think I sold 1 of those, and I think I've sold 3 of the V cuts.
yeah. I know they
something
got
like that.
Yeah, I know they're at least up to 4. Yeah, on Saturday you had a good day up here, so that was pretty good. There was a good turnout at the car show at the Cars and Cigars. Everybody that had a Peacemaker really enjoyed it down at the Hog Pit.
Everybody that has a Peacemaker enjoys it.
I mean, typically some people don't. The Minnesota folks don't like them.
Well, that's because they talk funny.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody from Minnesota lately, so that's why it doesn't sound like Minnesota.
Right.
Lots of thoughts with our homeboy Leo. I sent him a message last night and still haven't gotten a response. So,
she said he is bad. Bad.
Really?
Bad.
But he was going home?
He was going to get to come home, but she didn't, I didn't.
Right.
I don't do good with that stuff.
Right.
So I just, once I could hear the emotion in the voice, I didn't want to listen to it no more. So I quit listening to it. So I wasn't going to have a response. So
right.
I didn't know.
So, hopefully Leo catches up on this. Just know, I sent him a message. I said, if you need anything, holler out. I'd be there for him. So, yeah. So Leo had a
stroke.
He had a stroke, and he is not doing super well with what's going on. So, lots of thoughts with him. All right. Now we're done with that somber stuff.
Right. Well, he's probably rehab. If he's going to get to come home this quick, well, I don't know how long he's been in there. A week?
No. Has it been? No, it couldn't have been a week.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I was just talking to him not that long ago.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, shit. I talked to him October 6th. It's October 11th. We found out yesterday he had a stroke.
So weak.
He was back in the hospital October 6th. So, yeah.
A week?
Yeah, 5 days. So, fight through, Leo. We got you, buddy. So, you drove the super cool...
Yeah, I drove the Previa home yesterday, so it's part of the this week's.
Fucking Friday.
But yeah, that's what I should call
Yeah.
it. It's part of this week's, and I drove it home and it blew the head gasket halfway there, which, like I was just telling you, I'm not upset about that. I had that bolt go loose and I quit on the head gasket job.
Right.
Because I was afraid. I'm always afraid doing that torque sequence.
Right.
Every time I do that, turn it 90, torque it to this poundage and then turn it 90. Every time I do that, I'm afraid.
Right.
And I felt that one go a little loose and I just quit. And
Right.
so, I kind of expected it.
Righty loosey is never a good thing.
Yeah, right. Especially on a head gasket.
Right.
I kind of expected it. So it's not...
First,
I'm not that disappointed. What disappoints me is the fact that the tires they've been here for 3 weeks with the tires on it.
right. Perfect.
They've not lost a pound.
Right.
And now it's sitting in my driveway with a flat tire.
That's so wild.
So
You were sitting on the hole. It was sitting on the hole.
I guess.
So I did a long time ago. I did my first upgraded cam job, an overhead cam job or an overhead cam engine. Right. So nice and easy up top. Right. So because it's just the cover and the cams are right there. Real easy job. So this guy, like the internet and the instructions are like, oh, you got to tighten them down this way. Right.
Right.
Welcome to the podcast where we hit the microphone every fucking time.
That's right.
But so I didn't pay attention.
I think it got louder.
What's that?
Microphone.
So I didn't. So I didn't really probably read that far down. In the
You didn't pay
instructions.
attention to the torque sequence.
No. I broke those cams.
Yeah.
It snapped them.
Yep.
So I went right back to my stock cams on that day.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I paid attention and tightened them down the right way.
Yep.
Isn't that something? Yeah. There's a reason they put that shit in the instructions.
Yep.
So.
You just start in the center and work your way.
Yeah. No. I started
Back
at one
and
end.
forth out.
Started at one end.
Yep.
Went down and
Torqued them.
About halfway. No, I didn't fully torque him, but I gave him at least one ooga, And it's not like I was using the impact. I was using hand tools, So I was going down, and then it goes snap, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I went from 2 cams to 4 cams.
You didn't notice the gaps were getting larger?
I didn't
you
really pay attention. I wasn't sober a lot back then, so there was that aspect of my thought process, and hence why I couldn't read through all the instructions either.
Right.
So I'm like, take these cams out, put these cams in, got it, no big deal. So, $300 set of cams, and I just snapped them. So that was pretty cool. So from there, I learned there's a torque sequence for a reason.
Right. Mm-hmm. My dash cap looks good on the Nissan. I left the window down so it wouldn't fill with fumes last night.
Oh, and it rained today.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So you're getting the inside washed.
Yeah. Well, I didn't leave it all the way down. I just left it cracked.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't fill with silicone fumes, glue fumes.
That'd been cool to go in there with this lit cigar.
Right.
See if it
looks good, though.
Yeah. Did you take pictures?
No.
No, not yet.
No. I took everything off of it this morning.
What do you mean?
Well, I had to weight it down.
Oh, the dash.
Yeah, I had to weigh it all
Gotcha.
down.
Did you take them? Should have taken dumbbells out there.
I just found miscellaneous crap in the garage.
No,
Yep.
No, there's miscellaneous crap in the garage.
Everywhere.
Fuck. I didn't know we were stocking miscellaneous crap.
Everywhere. Them damn bumper sports that didn't get welded onto the to the heavy hack.
That worked?
Yeah, they were. I used one of those.
I'd be worried it'd carve up the fucking dash.
No, I put a
Towel in there.
microfiber down.
Okay.
Brand new dash. So,
Here's a bumper support on the brand new dash.
right.
That makes sense. There's literally rubber coated weights right there. Fucking could put 60 pounds on there.
They don't look like they're too big.
No. The dumbbells. They're rubber coated
Oh,
too. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're 30 pounds.
Yeah. My Valance, my new Valance doesn't look too bad either.
Did you get it installed already?
No, it's
Oh,
right
it's
there.
sitting right there.
It looks like it'll fit fine.
What's that? So that's the lower valance?
Yeah, the one that's wrecked to bad.
I like how you put these parts on a truck that's rusting from like the inside out.
It's just a bed. Once that Valance is on, it's just a bed. There's not. Well, I mean, once I fix the floors, it's just a bed. But I've got all the stuff to fix the
Keep
floors.
going.
So
Keep going.
no, it's just the floor.
So
The I was under it yesterday fixing that carrier bearing. The cab supports are good. The rear of the cab's all good. All the cab supports they're dry rotted, but they're not rotted. They're not rusted. They're all good. The bed is rotted out. Weirdly, in a very, very strange way.
I'm gonna drive that heavy half today, and I absolutely love that truck is bouncier than the lowrider Chevy truck. It is that add a leaf, whatever the hell's done to that thing. And I assume that's for the for all the towing that guy did.
Yeah,
Fifth wheel.
He didn't do that much towing. All the mileage on that truck, I'm telling you, is him circling the block, talking shit on all the neighbors. That is, he's a gossiper, and that's all the mileage on that truck is, all of it.
Yeah. No, I fucking like that little heavy head. You've driven it a couple times, more than I have probably.
He drives better than my dad's truck. I'll tell you that.
It drives fan-fucking-tastic. I can't believe how much, like, that engine's just like it's refreshed. Like, I don't know. It runs great.
Because all its mileage was idling.
It's fantastic. So, no,
That's what he does. He even idles up the hills. Just stops and talks some shit. Goes over to the next neighbor's house, talks shit on the neighbor he was just talking to.
Bless you. I slapped up the ape here behind us so that way it didn't look like we were going to get beheaded.
No, now it really feels like we're in a cell block.
Right. Now I got,
No, you can't have my cornbread.
Right. Got Harambe behind me. So, rest in peace. That's not a thing anymore.
What, Harambe?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a thing.
At the car wash.
It isn't?
No, it is at the car wash.
No, it's still a thing. I mean, they shot an ape.
Oh, I know.
And they're not going to bring him back.
Oh, I know that, but the uproar is over. The uproar
His revenge ain't.
All right, so you ready for my weekend? I took Ginger out to dinner last night because I looked at my calendar and I really won't be home this weekend. So Thursday night we have cards up here at AP1. That runs till about midnight, right? I know by the time I pick up some stuff, it's midnight.
Right.
Oh, shit. I forgot I had dishes in the sink. And
they're not all in the sink no more. I had to wash my hands.
Gotcha. I completely forgot.
I especially moved the white cutting board out of there.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate you. So we have cards on Thursday. Friday, I'm in Pacific. So I sent them a message, right? I'm going to start advertising. It's the Witches and Warlocks Street Party.
Right.
And the Chamber of Commerce says that goes to 11. So I sent the Cigar Vault a message, and I said, hey, does this go? Are you going to be open the whole time? I assume you would be. And they're like, we haven't been getting out of here till like 1:30 in the morning on Fridays. And I'm like, sweet. And that's in Pacific, Missouri. So, and then Saturday is the St. Louis Block Party at Lit. And that's where it's local distilleries.
Okay.
And then local cigars. Actually, Scott's going to be one of them here, STL Special.
You're going to be doubling for Scott.
Yes, I will be. And then Brian's, the owner of the Lit Cigar Lounge, he's going to be, working that product as well. So I don't know how much of that I really have to do. I might take both hats and just slide corner to corner, just change hats. So then Saturday's that. And then, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of not sleeping.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah. So if you're out and about or if you're looking for something to do, the Witches and Warlocks thing sounds pretty cool. It's like kind of an adult Halloween party that's a street party at the same time. So there's some food vendors and basically it's a big block party. And then Saturday should be fun. It's the first time anybody's pulled a bunch of St. Louis stuff together like this. So, Saturday should be fun.
Is it?
As far as I know, I mean, since I started paying attention. So, but it is what it is. And then today, after we record this podcast, I'm gonna go start my third job and go down and do some laser engraving down at Pius Armory.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah. Yeah. He printed your wallet right there in front of me, because he's a month behind.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't find anybody to fucking sit here and hit F2. And I'm like, oh, I know where F2 is. And he goes, because he even put an ad on Facebook. He's like,
You gotta know more than that.
Well, I told him, I said, let me catch you up with production. So just set it up. I can put the item in there. I'll hit F2 a couple times, burn it into whatever the material is that we're doing, and then I'm out. And he goes, I'd love to show you how to take this art and put it in here. And I go, that's fine. I'm like, I'd love to learn something,
Right.
And, but here, I told him, I was like, you don't have to pay me. Just if you teach me this shit to where I can take a logo, put it into whatever format that the laser uses, and then I can start doing all kinds of cool swag. Like I can buy blank keychains or whatever and just laser inscribe them. So, because I don't think the laser costs them anything but power. I don't think there's at least one that he uses the most. There's not, a gas or anything to it.
No.
So it's literally just power.
I don't think any of them have a gas to them.
Yeah.
They're literally.
I don't know. There's
just power.
Yeah, some of those lasers get up to $20,000.
Well, if you get a big one.
Yeah, he's got two. He's
Really?
Yeah, he's got a big one too. So he's got one in the back that like he can do, like this table basically. He can laser inscribe this table or some shit.
Really?
So I think he could almost do this table. Like it's that big.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like in the Krav Maga area.
What's he doing that with? What's he doing with that?
No, that laser shit's got him fucking, backed up at least a month.
Jeez.
So, there's weddings and there's funerals and there's all this stuff that people want done, all this stuff.
Damn.
So, and then even Secondhand Barrels is doing stuff with Pius Armory because the CNC can't get super detailed because it's a CNC bit.
Right.
So then the laser comes in there.
Right.
So, it's
That
kind of
makes sense.
Yeah. So, you do some laser stuff, and it just, Secondhand Barrels doesn't want to go out and buy a $20,000 laser inscriber or whatever, engraver.
I've been looking at 3D printers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a 3D printer, but I just don't know.
What would you make? Like,
Make all kinds of stuff.
I know you could, but what would you make? Like, what would Chuck make with a 3D printer?
Glocks.
Yeah. Well, fuck, man. We got plenty of Tupperware laying around. Just melt it down and make a gun out of it.
Well, so there's a tutorial on YouTube of taking bottles like that and
Really?
in how to build a stripper to make them the right size. To thread through the 3D printer.
No shit.
Because that's all it is a spool of plastic.
Right.
So there's tutorials online on how to take them bottles and
Jesus, you know how many of those bottles we go through?
Rig in,
we go through 40 at least a week.
The tea bottles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's all plastic.
Well, it is, but it's different grades of plastic.
Man, it's all plastic. It all melts just the same, I'm sure.
This I would bet would melt. Because, it's such a thin plastic.
Right.
So I bet that would melt almost probably too quick. I don't know. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll see what the next few months bring with all the space here.
There's laser printers cheap, or 3D printers cheap online right now, too.
Really?
Cheap.
I just, it seems like everybody's got one. Like, I know 4 or 5 people that have them. They make ashtrays and
right.
all
And
kinds
so
of cool
they
shit.
seem like they're easy to use.
Right.
So
I know the things get clogged a lot. I wonder if that's just the grade of plastic that you're using.
I don't know. It might be. I don't even think if you buy the spool of plastic, I don't even think it costs that much. I think it's a rather easy and cheap thing to do. Because these guys are making parts like, well, you look at the one wheel stuff. These guys are making parts and giving it away.
Yeah.
So it can't be that expensive.
Right. Dude, my one wheel tire's flat as fuck.
Well, that happens.
Nah.
Put some air in it.
Well, I know, but I was riding it the other night, and I was like, man, what is going on? I was wobbly at like 15.
Right.
And I'm like, what the? So I pushed down on it, like, with my hands, right? I was like, oh, shit, I'm hella flat. So, and I was going to ride it today, but it decided to rain. So my plan was to take it and then ride up here from the shop and then down to Piasaw and then back up the hill. So I had this whole plan. I looked at the weather yesterday, and I was like, so I called Emily. I was like, hey, pick me up.
That was my plan when the van quit yesterday. Was
Ride one wheel?
One wheel up here because I could take the truck home. No big deal.
All right.
And that's still always my plan. I'm like, well, maybe it'll be dry when I leave. As long as it's dry when I leave, I'm fine. It wasn't dry.
Nope. It was actually, when I pulled out, it was raining pretty good. Like, it was pouring down on me pretty hard.
It wasn't dry. It was not dry. So, I don't know what happened to last week's Fix It Friday. I don't know why there wasn't no audio. Just screw you. That's why.
Yeah, the intro,
If
like,
it can go wrong, it will go wrong.
were you recording through here, or were you just recording?
I was recording through here.
And then this was definitely, it's like it was.
And they're all on the same channel. The video processes, the program processes them all on the same channel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you had the rest of them. So why it didn't process that one?
Might as well just record it out in the garage.
I had to do it twice. I had to make the video twice because YouTube didn't want the first one.
That's so crazy.
It would get all the way to the end and then wouldn't process it.
So we started a Patreon, and
Yes.
so I gotta get that logged in on your computer
Yes,
too.
I have to start figuring that out and working on that stuff too.
So, but Patreon's gonna be Unrolled Cigar Podcast, because somehow everything else was taken. So, whatever.
Well, like you said, people take that stuff so they can sell it later. As soon as they see it someplace, they take it so they can resell it. So,
I love the cold weather. It likes to make my nose run.
I hate the cold weather.
I fucking do too.
I hate it. So that's what it's going to be all winter, me sneezing and you blowing your nose?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. So stay tuned for that.
What'd you call that? ASMR?
Yeah, ASMR.
Right. That'll be a good time. A real good time.
So the video that you did load up that had the bad intro, that was us working on the heavy heifer.
That was an absolute spectacle of failure is what that was.
Yeah, I saw like some sped up stuff.
Yeah, I figured out how to speed up
Okay.
clips.
That was cool. And then it didn't seem like it was that fast. Was that like just one time?
200% instead of 100.
Okay.
So I sped it up 100%.
Okay, so you just doubled the speed.
And then I thought listening to stuff
Sounded like
funny.
Alvin and Chipmunks
Because
working
you
on.
can still pick out certain words. Like
Right.
everything's fast and sped up, so you don't really understand any of the words, but you can still pick out me going fuck. So
Was that the whole process on that video? So I kind of bounced around. It kind of looked like it was. Was it not?
I cut a bunch of it out.
Did you?
I cut a lot of it out.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't no reason for it to be in there, so I cut it out.
Well, and I think that's true with most YouTubers that do, especially automotive repair. There's so much just, downtime.
It's hard to do. I got a lot more respect for those guys now.
Right.
Because it's hard to do. It's hard to, because I'm not thinking about that camera at all. I'm thinking about what I'm doing.
Right. Well, I didn't know the camera was there most of the time until I grabbed it and started getting around.
Or if I start thinking about the camera, I stop thinking about what I'm doing.
Right.
And so.
Yeah. And, you've been watching, damn it, what's Puddin'. And you go back and watch the beginning, versus where he's at now. He's obviously a lot more comfortable.
Well, there's older videos of his. There's one where he works on a shoebox. I was going to start watching it next, and that's even older than the other one, than the Travelall one that we were watching.
Right.
And you could see in the beginning of that one how often, actually, it's kind of cool. And the name of the channel is Puddin's Fab Shop, and he does a lot of good work. And he tells you that he's never done it before, or that and then he knocks it out of the fucking park.
Right,
so,
it's perfect.
So I kind of think he's a liar when he says that thing and stuff. But
and it's perfect.
Right, perfect. Like, I've never B-rolled this before, and it's perfect.
Right.
okay, so listen, I'm gonna show. I bought a bead roller because I've always wanted one, and I had that money from that board.
Right.
So I bought what I buy. I bought a bunch of freaking tools with it. That's what I
right.
bought, and then I got ripped off on buying a junk car.
What junk car?
That truck. We'll get into that in a second.
What truck?
Jose's.
Oh.
So he probably didn't know, but anyway. So I bought a bead roller, so I will post a video of the first time I use a bead roller, and you will see how absolutely horrible it comes out, because it will. And I know it will. Everything does the first time. I mean, it took me forever to get surgical with that plasma cutter like that.
Right.
So,
right.
And I'm damn good with that plasma cutter. So, my problem with the plasma cutter is I just crank it all the way up, because if it'll cut half-inch at that speed, it'll cut eighth-inch at that, which causes me to have more slag. So, but that's my problem with the plasma cutter. I do the welder the same way. I just crank it up until it starts burning, and then I try and go fast enough that it don't burn through.
What's going on with the Colorado?
One of the cats was empty, so I'm gonna lose money.
Oh, yeah. I doubt if he knew that.
No, I don't think he did, because it looked stock to me. It's bone dry, empty inside of it though.
So it all burnt out and freaking.
I guess.
Jesus.
And spit it out the back.
Holy shit.
How he didn't know, that's beyond me. But,
Well, it had an exhaust leak anyway, right?
But the header was cracked.
Yeah. So
Broken two, technically. So I hope the pre-cat's still good. So.
Is anything else salvageable in that truck?
No. I'm not.
Is the motor done?
I mean, if I let it sit long enough, then it'll get taken all apart. But it's gone. I need it to go Thursday. I'm low on cash. So.
You gonna just load it up on something?
What do you mean?
What do you mean it's gone on Thursday?
I need it gone on Thursday. I need to take it in Thursday.
Are you just gonna take your dad's truck?
Yeah. Just load it on the trailer. Just come up here, take the trailer, load it on the trailer, and leave.
Right.
But it's got to go. So I need that, as much of that money I'm going to get back. So I owe Andrew $100 because I sold him two converters, and I hadn't had one off yet. And when I cut it off, it was empty.
Oh shit.
So I owe him $100 for that converter. So I'm basically just going to give him all these other converters. Yeah. That's 2 in a row that I've cut off. They've been empty.
That's crazy.
So I envy the meth heads too, let me tell you. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they cut converters off in like 2 minutes flat.
Oh, I think it's faster now.
It takes me 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how they do it.
Well, they're method skinny, so there's that.
Right.
So they climb under there. And
Right.
They probably use those little Milwaukees.
It probably took them a while to get to that point.
Right. Yeah, it's practice.
Right. There's
Right.
probably a lot of practice.
That's a, that's a learned trade.
Right.
You put that shit on your resume.
Right. But yeah, we were talking about that Puddin's Fab Shop. Like you could see him come into himself in that travel house series.
Right.
You can see him start to get comfortable.
Right.
And that it go from being really awkward, because he starts off really awkward, to starting to get comfortable.
Right.
So, I don't, and now he's really, really comfortable. It's more of an entertainment than it is.
It's just as much.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially the new stuff, it's very much worth just watching him versus, what he's actually doing.
Right.
He's a character.
Right.
Right.
Right. He built some nice stuff, though. I mean, it's kind of neat. I'll have to admit that when I seen that little U-Haul on the back of that little Datsun,
Yeah.
I kind of thought about going looking for a little U-Haul.
Gave you a little chubby, huh?
I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, that's cool. I like that. I got a rotted out bed anyway, so if it fits on a king cab chassis that easy, then
Fits ships.
not. If it's that easy to put it on, shit, I'm down. But I'm not. There ain't no telling. I couldn't tell you where he's finding them. So
Right. There's so many U-Haul places around here anyway. Just go.
well, yeah, but that stuff's from the '70s, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you're into cars and car building, he builds.
He builds cool stuff.
Yeah, it is cool stuff. And almost everything's on air ride, one way or the other.
No, he's just got he's got two things on there, right? He's got an older truck, which I don't think he builds on the channel. I think he had it when he started his channel. And then he's got that little Datsun that he built.
Well, you put helper bags on carryall.
Well, yeah, but
Those were just inside the coils.
Count. That doesn't count.
Well, it does.
So
Still had to...
yeah, it's a really good channel.
Yeah.
So that guy, I think I told you this. Vice Grip Garage.
Yeah.
Derek, I think's his name.
Okay.
He's got his own Motor Trend.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah. I saw Freiberger was posting stuff with him.
Yeah, he's got his own Motor Trend show now.
Right.
Good for him.
Right. He was a pretty good character too.
Yeah, he's I've been trying to catch it to watch it, but I ain't went looking for it. I could probably go looking for it, find it. I've been trying to catch it to watch it to see how he might differ on, you know what I mean, with an actual production crew now.
Right.
Because I'm sure he's got a production crew now. Then. Oh, and I don't understand is, are they going to kill Roadkill now? Are they going to end it?
When was the last time Roadkill was put out, though?
Right, because they haven't been doing it, and that's pretty much what he does.
Right.
So,
well, and that's what, you know...
I mean, you're not going to get your characters, but they do other things.
Right.
So.
And, you know, I think Roadkill was so popular that then there's these spin-offs, you know, Finnegan goes one way, Freiberger goes away.
Well, that's where all these YouTube channels came from.
Right.
Man, I sat up here Saturday, and I've been watching the Motor Trend because it's on the, it works all the time on the app that we got.
Right.
So I sat up here Saturday, and the reason why the YouTube mechanics are so popular is because, look at the shows: Two Guys Garage, Two Girls Garage, 4-wheel drive with that Guy Fieri's son, or Guy Fieri's dad, maybe, or his twin brother. He's something. He's related to Guy Fieri somehow.
Is he
same
really?
haircut.
Is he really?
So same haircut.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay, yeah, that guy.
He's the only one that builds anything. The rest of them is a half-an-hour commercial.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a half-an-hour product placement.
Right.
They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. And they're still really, really popular. Like they got to be, or they take them off the air, right?
I would assume.
They're still really, really, really popular. And so that's where all these YouTube mechanics came in. They seen that and they thought, I can do that.
Well, you know, why?
Except I'll actually work on something and get my hands dirty.
I think that's why Roadkill was so popular, is because it was so relatable. You know, because it would, you know, their shit breaks down.
Right.
You know, and it's, you know, and they built stupid shit. Like, we're going to put a 440 in a Samurai.
They hack it, and very, very hacky.
Right.
So.
And then they literally break down, you know, I mean, what's entertaining is people want to see everybody fail, right? So
right.
you watch these guys, they go
right.
literally 3 miles, and then they're pulled back over.
If that's the case, then that last week's is going to be absolutely, it's going to go viral because I spent an hour failing.
What's that?
I spent all day failing putting that bumper on, cutting it apart, everything. That was horrible.
You know what though? The end result is it's on there. It's
nobody cares,
and it's pointless.
Right. It was just.
You said something in the video. You said, you know, I shouldn't have cared this much on this.
Right. I shouldn't have.
And it's like, it's literally a tow rig. It's just a tow pig.
Somebody gave a bumper, so we cut it down and put it on there.
Right.
The truck is literally rust.
Yeah.
It's worse than my Nissan.
Look at this guy. No cut needed. Cap came off.
You didn't even trim it?
No, I just peeled the cap.
Coming off real good, too.
Yes, sir. Coming off real nice.
These are from a local guy, Scott.
Yep, locally owned, rolled in Nicaragua. Every single podcast.
I don't know why that laptop does that. It's been shut for an hour. I need to wipe it down looking at it. It's covered in ashes. I wouldn't know why.
Mine in the back. I unplugged mine the other day. I was going to work up in the front on it, and it's from 2013, right?
Right.
And I didn't get to up there, and it's like low battery. So I was like, oh, fair enough.
The one I've got that with all the tuning stuff on it lasts longer than that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, mine's shot, but it has everything saved in it, and I really don't want to get a new one because of all the they put on there, man. It's just ridiculous.
Everything. I get spam from McAfee, and McAfee's been bloatware for the last 15,
Right.
20 years, something like that.
I'll continue to use my 2013 until just it won't power on. Then I'm gonna be up shit creek because I don't know any of my passwords.
Right. Well, they're wrote down in there. I found them the other day.
Some of them. But then you got to change them, and I don't write down the new ones because I get pissed off. I have to change my password every 90 days.
Right.
It's just really, technology is super cool, but man, it's a real nightmare.
I tried to.
All right, I'm ripping this binder because I started in the wrong spot there.
Oh.
I'm doing it.
Screwed it up.
Clearly, you can hear it. There we go. That's what I wanted.
I had to change my password Amazon.
Yeah.
So when the phone broke and I got in on this phone, for some reason this phone wasn't logged into Amazon anymore, and I had to change my password. So I've had a new phone number since the last time I did my password.
Oh shit.
So it was like, okay, we'll send you a text with this, code. Well,
I don't have that number.
They sent 4, and I'm like, I don't have that number no more. And you can't. So the reason why they sent 4 is because the first time they did it was because I was trying to log in and I needed the password. And then the second time they did it is because I was trying to get to where I could change the damn phone number.
Right.
I ended up having to call them.
Did
I was on the phone with them for an hour and 20 minutes before finally, I got them to change my phone number so I could re-secure my account and change my password. An hour and 20 minutes I had to call them.
Where did you find a number
silly.
to Amazon?
If you go through the menus,
Oh.
it's there. Yeah, I can find you a phone number. I can find you a phone number for Facebook if you want it. It's all on the internet somewhere.
So we got gift cards, right?
Yeah, I sold one. And
Were you able to scan it?
what do you mean?
Run it through the machine for it to read the number, or did you?
It said it was successful. I told her, I gave it to her, and I go, listen, that's the first one I've ever done.
Right.
I don't think anybody else has ever even done one yet. I think I'm the first person to have done one. And if it doesn't work, just take the card in. Hopefully he'll come here because I'll remember since this is the only one I've sold.
Right.
I'll remember it. We'll get it lined out either because it charged her card for sure.
Right.
So we'll get him his $50 no matter what. Don't worry, we're not gonna.
Right. Right. Did a receipt print?
No.
Huh.
No. So and I was gonna tell you that too. So a guy took the kiosk from me last week.
Okay.
And Friday I think it was. He just kind of flipped it around and hit print receipt.
Right.
And I said no, and I grabbed it from him real quick, and then before I could do anything, it was printing a receipt.
Okay.
And I stood there in awe, like, well, how's it doing this? There's no paper in it, at all. It's completely empty.
No.
There's paper in that.
There's paper in that one. So,
but it wouldn't print her receipt. It wouldn't print it.
That's kind of weird.
And it wouldn't print the receipt. I tried another guy that came in after her. I tried to print his receipt because I was like, why did it print that one for that one dude?
Right.
But it wouldn't print his either.
So I did 2 in Alton for the same lady, and so she did 2 for $50, right? And so I rang them up individually, which fucked me because you can literally add 2 at $50 on the gifts. But when I went to scan or slide it for it to read the number, to input the number, it wouldn't do it at all. So I had to manually put the number in that's on the back of the card.
It said gift card successful.
Okay. All right. Well, so this one's working better than Alton's. I put a call in to make sure, they're going to, I put an email in to support to see if, to make sure, because, we got to be able to scan them.
Right.
And then, so when they go to cash out, I don't know if they're going to scan then. So
I almost wrote her out a gift certificate, but I really didn't know how I would do that.
And I threw them all away.
No, they're still down there.
No, I threw them all away.
Why would you throw them away?
Because we have gift cards.
Oh.
They're going to work perfect. It's technology. Well, she'll have her credit card. It definitely charged her.
Well, it sent her the receipt.
Yeah. So
I texted her the receipt. She was like, no, don't. No.
Yeah, let's cover our ass.
Yeah,
right.
Give me the receipt. But I told her, I said, listen, if you walk in here or down there in Alton with a card that says AP Cigar on it and say you couldn't have stole it,
Right.
because they're under the counter and you couldn't have stole it, so they're gonna take care of you. That looks like it came apart real nice.
It's actually...
We didn't talk about it at all.
No, we didn't. That's why we have video now, so we don't have to. I'll have to try to come up with some descriptive words, because vocabulary is really not my thing. I absolutely cannot stand trying to sound smarter than I am.
How was Mini Micro Tom Segura Saturday night?
Well, he was really small. The opening acts were fantastic. We were on
Who opened?
One guy was a St. Louis guy, but he's just been here 2 years, so he was okay. The second guy was pretty funny. I don't even know what he talked about. Dude, my memory's so bad, so,
Right.
And then Tom Segura. So Ginger listens to Tom Segura on podcasts a lot, right?
Right.
And so when we left, I asked her, let me tell you a funny story. So it's at the Fox, right? So
I thought the Fox was a little venue.
No,
it's small.
No, it's beautiful and it's huge. Huh. It's so over the top beautiful. So I used to go there quite often. I just never sat up so high. So I have my gun on me, right? So it's a day that ends in Y, so I'm carrying my gun.
As usual.
Right. So so we walk in. Ginger got the parking pass, garage pass thing, and everything. So we walk in, and they're checking purses, and there's a guy with a wand, and I'm like, shit. So I go, hey, we got to go back to the car. Both of us have to pee because we went to dinner, right? Like, we really have to use the restroom. And she goes, why? And I was like, because we have to go back to the car. And she goes, she's almost in. That's all that's in her mind. It's like, I'm almost in. What do you, like, the bathroom's right over here, Right. And I'm like, and we took her car. She has her keys, right? So I'm like, we have to go back to the car. So we're walking out, and this lady's like, can you not have purses? It's fucking, Jesus, mind your fucking business, lady. So we're walking back, and she goes, what's the matter? And I go, and she goes, I have my gun on me. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, I can't just be in a crowded theater and yell gun.
Right.
I'm like, I'm trying to fucking get out the door, and you have the keys. And she's like, and it was kind of, hustle and bustle. Everybody's trying to get in and shit. So it was like, a little overwhelming. And I'm just like, we have to go. So the amount of weed smoke in the parking garage was fantastic. It's like a whole family of skunks went up there and died.
Oh, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure everything's funnier when you're high.
Yeah.
And then, so we were in there, after we walked back to the parking garage, put the gun away, walked back to the fucking venue, get in, finally get to use the restroom. And so then we get to our seats, and then behind us are these two kids that are just excited to be out of Cape Girardeau. It was their first time. They were probably young 20s, right?
Right.
And they're like asking everybody around them, you guys from? Where are you guys from? Where are you? Oh, I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna punch this dude in the fucking mouth, bro. So I'm like, this fucking, like, he was so excited to be just, where there's tall buildings and shit. Like, he was just, I don't know. So it was like Buddy the Elf in the city.
Right.
He's like, look at all these light bulbs. So anyway, he was once the show started, he was quiet, so it was fantastic. And then there's two guys next to me. The seating up there, and probably throughout, I don't really remember, when I was sitting down lower, but the seating's pretty close. So of course I got this big guy on my side, right? And these two guys are there for a pre-bachelor party. One of the guys was getting married, so they're like, hey, let's go down. So the two dorks behind me, they're literally taking a survey of everybody around them, right, of where they're fucking from. And so they're like we're from 2 hours south, and then they tell us pretty much their whole life. So that's cool. So they get to the guys sitting right beside me, because this guy's right behind me, and he goes, and the other guy's like, yeah, we're 2 hours south too. And he goes, we're from Decatur. And I'm like, bro, no. Like, no. I wasn't talking, and I go,
it's 2 hours north.
I go, buddy, that's not even fucking close.
Right.
And he goes, and so I talked to these guys for a little bit, and then we went from then the nerd, he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from here. Like right here.
Right here.
Right
This
fucking.
seat.
Yeah, right fucking here, bud.
Here.
I literally walked here, you know.
Does it have them weird seats like I guess the arena, the place downtown? I don't know where.
Like
we
where
went to a monster.
hockey.
We went to a Monster Jam one year, and we sat. We weren't that far away. Honestly, they were pretty good seats, but they're weird sitting up in them because of the way they're inclined so that everybody can see.
No, this is the seats were fine. You know, they were very comfortable. I mean, the Fox is so old. It's so like I feel like there should be like devil worshipping ceremonies.
Well, it
in this
probably
place.
is.
Well, right. So it's like when we went to Ginger and we went to Invicta in Kansas City. It was held at some kind of ceremony lodge for the Masonics.
Right.
You know, but they lost it. So
Right.
maybe they didn't. I don't know. But like that place was fucking creepy. The Fox is kind of creepy in that way too. So it's beautiful. It's ornate. It's
I think that's where El Monstero plays every year.
I don't know. Well, and Tom Segura always comes back to there, and he's like, God, St. Louis is such a shitty city. Well, yeah, you're playing at the fucking Fox, bro. Like,
No, St. Louis is a shitty city.
well, I mean, it's pretty rough. But, you know, it's like, so, like, we went north, right, on Grand. Like, we got to Grand and went north, and we just took Grand to fucking McKinley, basically. Like, Grand to Natural Bridge to McKinley.
Right.
So, you know, if you were to travel that way, you know, 2 blocks, you know, it's a completely different atmosphere than the Fox. You know, like, so the Fox, like, this block is, you know, beautiful. You know, there's lights and there's supporting businesses around it and beautiful diners and all this stuff. But you go 2 blocks up and there's a guy.
Roll them up.
Yeah. So, you know, it's locked the doors, you know.
Kids, you see all this blight? Look at all this blight, kids.
Right. So, you know, it's, you know, I could see where, you know, if you would go to the factory or if you go to St. Charles Amphitheater or whatever the hell it's called, you know, Riverport, you know, there's a whole different venue with a whole different. And I bet you a lot of people don't go to the show just because it's down in the city. You know, Ginger's like, do you want to drive? I'm like, on those city streets? Fuck no. I don't want that fucking truck bouncing around in that motherfucker. Right. You know, it's just, the roads are garbage. Everything down there is garbage.
I always just go and take the, if I'm going downtown someplace, I park and I take the
train?
Yeah, the train over.
I don't. I rode that train once, and that was after I got arrested at the airport.
So I'm not.
Oh, I rode it twice.
People are afraid of that train, and it's like, I'm not afraid of the train.
I'm not afraid of the train. It's just, if I got to drive to the train station, I might as well drive to the venue I'm going to.
I just don't want to drive over there.
Oh,
so
I don't.
So when we went to that Monster Jam, it let out the same time the Cardinals game that night was letting out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And, yeah, that was absolutely horrible. What we should have done was just hung out up on the street for 15, 20 minutes. And it would have been cleared out. But what we did instead was I was like, well, let's walk down to this other station. It's just, you know, a couple blocks this way. And by the time we get there, it'll be cleared out. We'll be able to get on the train. It was cold and rainy, and I couldn't find the fucking station. And I was in a very, very bad mood by the time.
Right.
So, and I've never been to anything downtown ever again because...
I don't. I like
downtown.
I like being downtown. I love, you know, the variety of restaurants. You know, the shit that's hidden. You know, I absolutely love city life more than I do country life. So it's.
I wouldn't mind going downtown like during the day, you know, or if there's nothing going on, that's fine. That's cool. But if there's a ball game down there, just forget it.
So when we were at Tom Segura, that was our big. That's why we took the city route, I guess you can say, the North City route.
Right.
Because the Cardinals were playing at the same time. They were getting out at the same time. You know, Blues were playing. I don't know if it was a pregame.
It's all pregame.
Yeah. So, I mean, but there's still people there. I mean, still probably another 15,000 people there.
Right. But they're not, you're in St. Louis. They're terrible fans. So.
Well, they're still going to be out on the road.
Right.
So we took the North City route, and what do you know? There was no traffic, you know, because it's North City. Right. So, but
well, because you was heading into the hood, and nobody wants to leave downtown and head straight into the hood.
Right.
The downtown's hood enough for them.
Well, and the Fox isn't really downtown. It's out a little ways. I mean, it's out by Grand. So
I don't know where it is.
It's kind of, it's by like I want to say Wash U, but I don't think that's right. It's by one of the colleges out there. So it's by IKEA. You been to IKEA or know where it's at? It's out that way. So it's not.
That's the hood.
Oh,
That
it's
IKEA is straight up in the hood.
well, not anymore. Fuck, that's all.
Really?
That's all redeveloped.
So that's IKEA is down by that big. There's a big Goodwill outlet down there.
Yeah, that's still there.
An intake down there where you can go in and
By the pound.
yeah.
Yeah. That's how fucking nice St. Louis is. You
Take
can buy
rubber
clothes.
gloves.
Yeah, no shit. And
Take rubber gloves.
you might as well just take it straight to the burn pit because it's gonna have bed bugs.
Take
So-
rubber gloves.
But
So that, well, it's before they wash anything. They
right,
just
it's
take
before
it
they do
down
anything.
there. They throw it in right. They throw it in the blue things
And
and then
roll
they
them
haul
out.
it out in their yard.
And then there's a shit ton of people waiting to fucking pick it. Like there's people.
There wasn't. We didn't have that big of a problem. I found a really cool old Bible when we were down there. So you can find cool stuff down there, but.
I like going to Savers more than Goodwill.
But we grabbed a blanket, and I didn't wear gloves. Nobody told me.
right.
Nobody told me. I grabbed a blanket to move it, and I grabbed it to move it, and as I pulled on it, you could see it kind of stick together, and there was this brown substance on it.
God damn it.
And I quit right then and there, and I left it alone.
Yeah.
And I went straight to the bathroom, and I waited till the water was scalding hot, and I washed my hands in it.
At least they had hot water.
Right.
At least they had it.
Yeah, I washed my hands in scalding hot water. And some lady on my way out, she goes, "That's why you wear rubber gloves."
Yeah.
Because I guess she could see how bright red my hands were, scalding hot water all over it.
Yeah, no, that's but you know that area is built up. There's a place called City Foundry. I want to say that's close. I'm pretty close to it. So it's a upscale food court basically, and it has revolving food vendors in there.
When we were down there at that Goodwill, that was when Jeff was still alive.
Yeah.
Well, it's right. That Goodwill's right, basically in
Behind
IKEA's.
it.
Yeah, right behind IKEA. Mm-hmm. And that place was hood.
Yeah,
It
no,
was-
dude, you should go now. It's completely. It's so hipster nice now. I mean, so
gentrification.
yeah, no, and and it's nice. Like I remember one time I walked from where the Blues play. What's that called? The arena.
Yeah, whatever.
To this nightclub called Dante's, right? So we were having a big party there. There was some EDM guy that was going to be playing, kind of good size, I don't know, popular guy. Anyway, so it was our event. So we were at the Shamrock fights at the arena, and so I had my brother and my buddy Jay Lipe with me, right?
Right.
So Jay drove.
I bet that was a good time.
It was. The fights were good, and then so we're all supposed to go party afterwards, right? We're all gonna go.
Right.
So
I've met Jay. I bet that was a good time.
it was. No, Jay's fantastic. I've hung out with Jay actually several times, and you don't know what you're gonna get into, and I love that.
Right.
So Jay,
He bounces off the walls normally.
dude, Jay lives a life that is just such a cool life, man. Like Jay wakes up. He might be in Godfrey, and then when he falls back asleep in the back of his Jeep Gladiator, he might be at like Minnesota or fucking Michigan on the Great Lakes or something. And so he's got what looks like a mall crawler Jeep.
Yeah.
But that thing, he literally uses every inch of that thing. Like he works out of there, lives out of there, freaking parties out of there. Like he takes his, his base with him. Jay's just like, I got up, went to breakfast, met a guy. We decided to go to Arizona.
He's a strange guy.
He is fucking awesome.
He's a strange guy.
He is. So, but
He can play that bass guitar though.
oh yeah, no, Jay slaps hard.
Yeah, he can play that
Yeah.
bass.
So Nick decided he didn't want to go to the nightclub. Like he didn't want to go party. Now,
Right.
it costs nothing, right? Because
Right.
I'm the guy at this point. I go, it costs nothing. We have a couch. Like we're VIP. Yada yada.
Right.
So Nick refuses to go. Jay is excited to go, right? So it's music, it's drugs, it's fucking party, right?
Right.
So this is up Jay's alley. Nick is being a party pooper.
Right.
So Jay has to take Nick back to Alton.
Oh.
I walk from the arena to Dante. So I look on my map, right? It's not that far on the map. It's really far, and it was through the fucking hood.
Yeah.
I was like walking by burning barrels, keeping people warm because it was cold.
That used to be downtown anyway.
Right.
We went downtown anyway.
Right. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, But I doubt if I was even halfway. I'm like, oh, this is a really bad, this is pre-Uber, right? So I'm like, oh, this was a terrible idea. And so I'm walking, and dude, I am as puffed up as I can be, man. Because I dress for the club, so I'm wearing like a nice shirt, nice pants, shiny shoes, and I'm fucking walking. There's no street lights.
Nope.
Like, it's just straight dark. And this dude comes, he's walking behind me, and he goes, hey. And man, I mean, I'm just as swole as I could be, like fucking my fists are doubled up. I'm like, I'm ready for a fucking fight. And he goes, so I turned around, right? Finally, like the 10th hey, because he's getting closer, right? And, I have little legs. I can't walk that fast, but I'm not going to run, because, I got to stay nice looking for the club.
Right.
And so anyway, and it's kind of cold out too. So anyway, I turned around. I was like, what's up? And he goes, man, you could hang wallpaper off that back. It's so big. And I was like, thanks, man. And I just kept walking. That dude just wanted to tell me that. Like, he followed me like 2 blocks just to tell me. I mean, I was trying to make, because, I was wearing, a fitting shirt. And I was just fucking trying to be as big as I could to scare off anybody. He's like, you hang wallpaper off that back. I got to the club and then I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get home? Like, I'm on Olive Street now, right? And I'm like, how am I getting home? I'm like, now I got to find somebody to take me home.
Those are decisions to be made later.
Oh, it was. Yeah, no. And we had it was a great party, and Jay was so mad he missed it because this dude was just, like, he was an actual spinning records DJ, not a fucking iPod DJ, right?
Right.
So it was a hell of a great show. We all got completely fucking trashed. And then, I don't know who took me home, but somehow I got home. So, but yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Like, that was, and I'm normally not scared to walk anywhere, but it was just, I had no idea really where I was going. There was no street signs, right? They're all been scrapped, you know? So I'm like, fuck, I hope I'm on Olive, like, I don't want to walk past this place. And it's like, it was so much closer on the map.
That's probably why the night that we walked from one station to that other station, we walked through all them homeless people too. And I think that's why I was in such a bad mood, because I had to go from having a good time, with Sarah and the kids to I'll kill you.
Right.
Don't say anything.
Yeah.
I will hold you down and murder you right here in the.
Yeah. No, it's like you got to have that right.
I had to get turned on.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, that's what, if somebody's thinking about robbing you, they're going to look at your demeanor if you're not paying attention, or if you're, you look weak, in my head, then you look like you'd be taken advantage of.
Right.
So, it's like, dude, I puffed up so big that's all that guy had to say. Because I turned around and I was like, what? He goes, when he said that, I was like, I turned around and I was like, what's that even fucking mean? I'm walking back. So, yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. So, continued on my way. But yeah, it was, I don't know if it was probably like 15 blocks. Like, it was, not that far, but I had to like go this way and then go west on Olive.
That was probably down there by the wax museum that's down there. Was it down by the wax museum?
Isn't that down on the landing?
Yeah.
No, I was way far out in the landing. I was probably actually closer to the Fox than I was, because Dante's is out there.
We almost had a nice, well, it wasn't really nice, but it was a nice, it could have been really nice. It wasn't bad. Loft right there by Mississippi Nights, right up, like a block up from Mississippi Nights.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I don't know what street that is.
Right.
But that freaking dickhead that I was.
Oh, yeah. Doing the parties at?
Yeah.
Right.
He ruined it. Because he's a weirdo and a crybaby.
So I'm still bruised from that drill. So that drill doesn't have any kind of stop, like any kind of clutch.
Well, it stopped. You hit wood.
Yeah.
It stopped.
It stopped when it hit my wrist.
Yeah.
It spun my shit backwards.
But it stopped.
It did stop.
Therefore, it had to stop.
Right. I didn't post pictures of my brick ladder footing that I built in the side of a sliding fucking hill. I didn't even take pictures.
Why is that all torn out right there?
So that was gas line issues.
Right.
And then...
so you just tore it all out?
So Ameren did some of it.
Okay.
And then... So American Water is actually going to pay for a whole new parking lot. That parking lot's going to be So that's Max parking lot. So American Water used it for staging, and they
Okay.
tore up a lot of it as well to run all the buildings rainwater to the except for my building. So it's raining inside right now. So they
Yeah, I went upstairs and I seen the line of buckets.
yes, sir.
The line.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the roof here soon with something.
Tar.
Yeah, something. I got to put something drastic.
I got all the way up onto the second floor, and I guess I could hear Nick talking through the wall
Okay.
because I heard voices up there.
Right.
And I was walking around trying to find the voices. And I'm like, so I walked all the way up to the third level.
Right.
And I couldn't hear the voices no more. I was like, all right, they're down on the second floor somewhere. So I walked back down there and I wandered that whole second floor looking for the voices. And then finally I got all the way into the big open room where all the buckets are, and I went, I'm in a building from the 1800s, and maybe those aren't their voices I'm hearing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and leave.
So the Alton building.
And when I walked down, I noticed that side door was open.
Yeah.
So I figured it out.
So the Alton Cigar Shop is, it's an 18-something building too, right? So at random, the barcode scanner, beeps like it scans something.
Well,
There's
I wanna buy
nothing.
some stuff, man.
Nothing possible that it can scan, right? Every time I've gone in to open that shop, which isn't a lot, right? So maybe 5-10 times lately. Since we got those V cutters that don't stay in the container, there's that, right? The little keychain V cutters.
Right? Oh, yeah, they fall right out.
Yeah, they fall right out. So Emily took the time and cut the foam and made them stay in there, and they're pretty good, right? They're staying there. They're always on the floor. At least 5 are on the floor. It's not really possible for 5 to go on the floor.
I don't know, but she cut them all out, so they fit real nice now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, up here, if I walked in and found 5 on the floor,
Yeah,
I'd think nothing of it.
Right,
They fell right out.
So, that building, obviously, not the most stable building anyway. I mean, the only thing holding that building up is the other 2 buildings on each side, I think. So, but that being said, it's like we talked about it, and I was like, Emily goes, I've been in this, she's been in that building longer than the cigar shop has. She goes, no, shit moves all the time. Yeah. She goes, I see things moving. Like, I see people moving. And I'm like, you sure you're not seeing reflections?
Right.
Yeah. So, because there's quite a bit of glass in that back wall.
Yeah, there's a lot of glass.
So she sees people back there.
And it's going to reflect from people outside.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, it's funny how I've been in there, like when I was setting everything up, and I'm in there, like, one evening it just goes beep. There's no barcodes anywhere near it, but it's acting like it's scanning something.
So that's what's weird about. But this is what's weird about this place. I've been up here quite a few mornings before you now.
Right.
And I leave everything off, and just except for maybe this light or wherever I'm at, I leave everything off. And when it's really, really quiet in here, this building makes a lot of noise.
It does. It does.
A lot of noise.
So this morning I was in here before you, and I knew Jeff left because I saw him pull out when Emily was dropping me off. And I'm like, there's noises. So I go back here to the back because I thought you were back here, And I'm like, no one's here. I don't know what the fuck I'm hearing.
No, it creaks and it pops. This building makes a lot. And this building's not haunted by any means.
No, it's just...
It just creaks and pops a lot.
Do you think it's like falling in from where we took out the wall?
No, because it's back here.
I know
it's
it is.
back in here somewhere.
I was just chalking it up to the Mexicans doing something. So
well, and you can hear them through the bathroom wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can hear them loud as can be. I can hear them talking sometimes in the bathroom wall. They get loud. I can hear them. But you can hear them doing stuff back there, but it's not.
Yeah.
You sit here and you just hear so many creaks and pops that you get up and you look.
Right. Yeah. No.
To see who's here, and there's never anybody here.
The day we were working on, and you want to, you're heightened to listen. So the day we were working on the bumper,
right?
I kept thinking I heard people coming up front,
right?
And there was never anyone there. But whenever somebody did come in, I didn't hear them at all. So that's fantastic.
I was back here in the bathroom with the door open, and because I leave the door open when I'm here by myself. And I'm just waiting for Jeff to walk around the corner one day.
Right.
I leave the door open because you can see straight through that door. You can see straight through the front door. They got to walk through your eyesight if you're looking that way. And I seen somebody walk through, and I was almost done anyway. So the next thing I know, he's yelling for me, and I go, buddy, if you want me to wash my hands, you got to wait a second. And he goes, oh, okay. And he was almost back here.
Right.
And I was washing my hands, and I went up there, and I go, a few more steps, you would have seen something you wouldn't want to see. And he just, it was a normal guy.
Yeah,
so, and he just laughed, and also I can sell him a $5 cigar.
We had a couple customers come in here yesterday, and they were from a wedding I went to that I wasn't working. But the groom bought a box of Table 36s. So they came in and, I don't know, they spent $50-$60 on cigars. So it's pretty cool.
Billy's who I sold a cutter and a lighter to Saturday.
Billy Walker?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah.
He came back. I asked him if they found a place yet. And he goes, nope.
Yeah, no, he, I think knowing that they can come here has, like, slowed down the rush to find something.
Right.
And so, you know, it's like just having that peace of mind that you know that you have a home, that you don't have to lose money.
Right.
So I just stapled this on so we can just yank it off if we need to. So
I've been gonna put it up, but I've just been neglecting.
No, I threw it up this morning. I got here early, so
because I've already decided that the green screen is what was complicating the uploads so much.
Well, and I had both choices, and I was like, you know what, this is easy. You know, it just gives something back there besides.
You can look at.
Yeah, it now doesn't look so much like the Taliban's going to come and chop our head off.
Right. But we are still in B block. The weight set is still right here. Actually, you can probably see one right here.
You can get it? No, well, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
The little 10-pound bumper weights.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't know. I've got next Friday's already in the camera right here. I recorded it yesterday.
Nice.
And everything went really, really good yesterday until I drove it home.
Right.
So, and I thought I'd seen it smoking on the way home, but when I hit the accelerator, I didn't see it no more. So I was just thinking, no, maybe.
How was the exhaust? Was it quiet?
Yeah, it was quiet.
Nice.
So
good.
It was real quiet.
My
worked out better than my van.
My tracksuit didn't even really get dirty. Tracksuit Monday.
So, but I'm more mad about the tire than I am anything. And then my dad goes, well, the lift will be free Thursday. The lift's broke, by the way.
Oh, it's broke for real?
Yeah, it's good. I've got to rebuild the cylinder.
Oh.
And he goes, you can use it. We'll just have to put, a leg under it. And so maybe if I don't have anything to work on, I might spend the day taking the engine and transmission out of the other van.
Okay.
Because that engine runs great. It runs way better than this one did.
It did burnouts.
Now, that engine runs awesome.
So what is the compatibility? Is it the same?
The engine should go right in.
Okay, because it's all-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive, so I didn't know if it's the same engine, though. So it should mount right up to that same transmission.
Right up. Yeah,
Okay.
it should go right in. So if not, then it won't be all-wheel drive anymore. I really don't care about the all-wheel drive part of it.
No.
So that'll give me a chance to look and see why it pulls to the right so horribly, too. Like, you have to steer it left the entire time you're driving it, or it wants to go right.
Really?
And I mean, it will go, you let go of that wheel, it goes immediately.
Does it feel like brakes? Like, is it like a brake hanging up?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what it is. So it could be anything.
Right.
It could be the fact that I lowered it. Could be the fact that it was a mud truck.
I was going to say, it could be the fact that it's thrown through the fucking mud.
Right.
Thrown through the woods.
Could be anything.
Right.
There's no telling what is actually causing it without getting underneath it and actually looking at it. I might be able to see something then. But it don't shake. It don't. I had it up to 70 on center yesterday.
Really?
And it was smooth as butter. Other than the pulling, it was smooth as could be.
Really?
So.
Yeah, you probably got something bent up there from them hitting something.
Yeah, there's no telling what's going on.
Well, what should be cool is if you could reuse, if that part was on the green van.
It is. Everything's the same.
Is it front suspension wise?
Everything's the same.
Nice. So how did you have to raise? You had an issue with the.
I didn't raise it yet, and it rode pretty good.
Okay.
So it rode all right.
Nice.
I fill it all the way up, and then I just take it down a little bit, and it rode good. It rode really good.
Nice.
So I mean, it'd been real cool to drive it around for a little while, but the head gasket blew. So.
Well, I mean, it could be worse things. You could have to fucking go buy that engine.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be that. But
It's a lot of time.
That's a pretty bad thing because it's not. I have no idea. I think the worst part's going to be unhooking the. Get out of here. I think the worst part's going to be unhooking the electrical from it because there's a lot of it's up top where you can't get to nothing, and then I don't know what's on the bottom. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
Right.
I think that's going to be the worst part is unhooking all the electrical. And while I'm under the other van taking the engine out, I might as well take my accessory drive out. I might as well take all that stuff off. Why?
Right.
Why screw around? I need to get the windshield out still too.
What's stored in the shipping container? All the plastics and stuff. Is that?
So I've got one panel to build, and I've got a bunch of panels to change. And once I get the other van interior all the way together, and I'm not missing nothing, I'll throw all that stuff away.
Cool. We were in there yesterday putting some things in there. So there's some barrels and stuff in there.
Barrels.
Yeah, barrels. It's incriminating, so I don't want to say it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Some barrels.
No felony talks.
Right. No current felonies, please.
Right. So, yeah, I don't. Well, I piled them all up in the corner there for the most part, I think.
Yeah, no, you did. I opened it and it kind of rained down on me, plastic pieces. So
you opened that other side?
Yeah, I had to because the engine's sitting there.
Yeah.
So I
most of that I think can be thrown away.
Well, I just restacked it. I mean, it fell out, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So I just we put what we were doing in there, and then so.
Yeah, I think most of it can be thrown away. I think I've got everything that is needed from that stuff. I think is in the van already.
Gotcha.
But I want to make sure everything's together.
Sure.
Before.
And chances of breaking something when you're putting something in, always great. So this has been unrolled. We unrolled an STL Special. It unrolled beautifully. The only shake in here is from that binder that I was tearing the wrong direction, so it came off in two pieces. The wrapper is beautiful. The cigar filler looks fantastic. I'm smoking one now. It's actually starting to become one of my dailies. It's just a really good cigar. So,
I had a Hoyo.
Yeah, Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure Selection.
Yeah.
So always a good choice.
I've been smoking the shit out of them punches.
Yeah.
Just because they're just right there, and I like those punches. So.
Right. So, soon we'll start throwing stuff up on Patreon, and what you're gonna see on there is just things that YouTube will not allow, as far as butt sex and stuff like that.
Right.
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. Just
Jeff's OnlyFans.
Yeah, Jeff's OnlyFan belts, and then but yeah, no, it's gonna be the real frustrations of like doing projects, stuff that you won't see like on other YouTube channels and things like that. It's like when shit goes completely sideways.
I think Fix It Friday is going to be a good one because I changed my carrier bearing. I showed just about every single inch of that.
Nice.
I turned the camera off when I went to put it back in, and that was the only time it fought with me. So
the camera?
No,
the carrier bearing.
The carrier bearing. That was the only time. When you put a drive shaft back in, if you shove it too far forward, the transmission will suck it. It will cause suction, and then it's very, very hard to separate them again when you're laying on your back.
Nice.
So that's where it was fighting me, and I cussed a lot when that was going on because it's just aggravating. There's just no reason. But and then I rebent my hard lines. I rebent all my hard lines, so I got that on there. And then I looked for leaks, and I bitched about my chrome airline fittings because they're garbage. I don't like them.
Oh.
And but I think it'll be a good one.
Nice. So it's really two cars on that one.
Yep.
You gonna split them?
No, I'd probably just put it all on one.
Really?
So yeah. Okay. Some of the exhaust is on. Some of the exhaust will be on there.
What did I put on there? Oh, last Friday we did the. I put the little 6-minute video. We put some peacemakers in a whiskey barrel and sealed it up.
Why?
Well,
did it still have remnants of whiskey in it?
Well, not only that. So this.
Was it still kind of wet from the whiskey?
It was definitely wet. Yeah. So it was actually so wet that we. So the story of this whiskey barrel, it's a 3-gallon barrel, so it's not like one of the giant ones. There's a 3-gallon barrel, and it was used once. So they char it. It was used once for this whiskey company, right? It was like an express age, if you will, because the smaller it is, the faster it ages. So they emptied it, and then they have to sell it. They can only use a barrel once, right? So the second one is that barrel went straight from whoever was using it for the bourbon. It went straight to a local honey maker, and they filled it with honey. So now you have a bourbon-infused honey. Then they drain the honey, blah, blah, blah. So then Ryan at Secondhand Barrels takes that barrel and then filled it back up with whiskey or with a bourbon, some aged bourbon. And then just so if it dries out, then it'll start to shrink, right? It's wood. So you have to keep them moist this whole time. So what he did was he then filled it back up, since we're going to do this little experiment, if you will, filled it back up with whiskey, and then put it into another, like a 5-gallon bucket full of whiskey. So this thing was soaked through and through with whiskey, with bourbon.
And how long are you going to leave them in there?
So
it's like a time capsule thing we got going on.
Yeah, kind of. So we put 40 cigars in there, and we're kind of tying it in with Alton Main Street's First Fridays. And so that is an event. Like on the first Friday, if you're doing a scavenger hunt with businesses, you bring in your passport, you get 10% off anything in the store, SHB or AP cigar, right? It's furnace.
Right.
So, or something, water heater. But so that's why we did 40 cigars. It's 8 weeks to the final one. Each week we're going to pull out 5 more cigars. So we're going to put one cigar aside to see how long, obviously it's going to taste like bourbon because we put it in a wet ass casket.
Right.
So we're going to see how long.
Maybe a little bit like honey.
Right. So, it's a honey bourbon whiskey barrel. So it was, so we're going to pull 5 out. We're going to probably give one away to his people, one away to my people.
I mean, you're going to smoke one.
We're not that day, because there's no way we can smoke one that day. It should be so wet and humid that we can't.
Yeah, but I would think you'd want to take one out and smoke it and make sure it's not pure garbage.
Well, it probably will be.
Yeah, I don't.
So you haven't met the...
Sounds like a waste of 40 cigars to me.
It probably was, but they're 10 stars, so it's the least selling one,
Right.
So, but we, so each Friday we're going to pull out 5. So this Friday I have to do it early because I have to go down to the Warlocks thing at like 5 o'clock. Right. So I'm going to pull them out Friday early. And then,
well, if you leave them out, if you pull it out, say you pull it out Thursday, if you leave it out overnight, I bet they'll dry out.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they will.
Those peacemakers dry out really, really fast.
Well, it's because there's no cellophane in them.
Right, there's no cellophane, right. and they're kind of open at the end.
Right. Yeah, they're and they should absorb just as fast.
Right, you would think so.
So hopefully, so I rotated the barrel Sunday, just doing little corner turns.
We're rotating it now.
Yeah, just rotating the barrel. So that way, because, there's cigars, there's a lot of cigars in there.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm trying
to...
So
they kind of stir.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't know if it's a waste. I wouldn't assume that this is going to be the most greatest thing ever. It's like, there's been a ton of people doing it. But for the people that are following along, they can try something, And if it's garbage, it's garbage. It's not really the Peacemaker now anyway. It's Peacemaker with honey and bourbon. Right. But that barrel still had bourbon in it.
But if it turns out nice...
Well, then we got a thing.
Super Ultra Premium Deluxe.
Super Ultra Premium Deluxe cigars.
That's right.
Brought to you by Table 36.
Super Ultra Premium Deluxe.
Peacemakers.
10 stars.
Yeah, 10 stars. It'd be the
bullets. Actually, the bullets would be better. If they turn out good, the bullets would be better to do them with.
Why is that?
Because they're a smaller size.
It's only like 1 ring gauge bigger. Oh, you mean smaller as in...
They're small. Yeah,
overall.
They're smaller size. And yeah, overall, it's a smaller cigar.
Right. So, it's just something that's kind of fun to do with secondhand barrels, since this is the afterlife of a barrel, what it could be used for.
As I would imagine that even if it does taste good, by the time you get to the end of this far on a 10-star like that, I'd imagine you'd be really, really sick of it by that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long cigar. So you're talking 7, 8 inches. But
right.
I've been smoking them quite often at the house. That's been the 10-star. But I only smoke about half of it. And then I have another bullet left.
Well, that's what I was doing. Right. That's what I was doing when that's all we had was I was just I was cutting them in half basically, and keeping one half of them, and smoking the open ended half, both ends open. I was smoking that half,
Right.
and then I had a bullet left basically.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, they're, and we have no idea. There's so many variables. So, like, the ones I pull out this week, we're going to save a couple to the side.
oh, you know what you should have done?
What's that?
Should have filled it full of loose tobacco.
Oh, yeah, make it more,
That's right. Make it more of a mess.
yes.
When you take it apart.
Save every,
Right.
save every Drew Estate box ever. We'll
Right.
just throw all that in there.
Right. I've been giving them so much of a hard time.
So they're, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep that on there. The YouTube channel, if you notice more stuff popping up that's less cigar related, it's just Chuck and I related. This is just
It's everything.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just
everything.
This is just what we do. There's a ton of people that go, hey, you need your own TV show. Well, we can't afford that. So
Well, I mean, I can watch this on TV. That's it. So therefore, it's a TV show.
Right.
So
But
if
we
you
can't-
think we need our own TV show, then you need to watch it on your TV. There you go. It's a TV show.
So this is just our way of just documenting all the stupid shit that we do. So
Right.
We put let's see how many hours were on that bumper. 8.
Yeah, 8.
All right.
No,
so,
probably only 4, really.
okay. So even
I spent 2 hours I spent 2 hours cutting that stupid fifth wheel off to find out the frame was completely
the
trashed.
resage, yeah.
The resage. I don't know why I always call it a fifth wheel.
But because it's got one.
I'm gonna
It's got
I'm
gooseneck.
gonna start calling it the fourth wheel because
fourth
there's
wheel.
4 wheels on a trailer.
So depends on what trailer.
4 wheels on a trailer.
So yeah. So I mean, who would put basically $1,000 bumper on a rusted out 1500 from 2000?
Well, we got it for free,
I know, but I mean with labor.
and I didn't throw no kind of paint on it, so it's going to be rusting out there right now for sure too.
That's how it should be.
Right.
It should be rusty.
Right.
What's real funny is we put this big strong bumper welded on there, and then we put a delicate light bar on the front
That's right.
that protrudes further than the bumper, so we can't even really go smash trees.
Well, it doesn't protrude further than the winch.
Oh yeah, it does.
Winch, the winch, which costs about what the truck cost.
Yeah,
and cost more than the bumper did because we got the bumper for free. I spent more welding wire on the bumper than the bumper cost. So.
but yeah. So I mean, we got still finish up wiring the light bar and everything else. But
I'm excited to use my. I'm really excited now. So I owe a guy. A guy paid me a long time ago for a cutout, an Oldsmobile cutout, and I've never been able to figure out how to cut this thing out for him.
okay,
And so I owe him something.
Right.
A long time ago. I know the guy pretty good. He's
Right.
a good dude. So he's not. He gives me shit about it once in a while, but only when I call his Cutlass a Regal. and so every time I call his Cutlass a Regal, he'll give me shit about it. And so I'm excited for the bead roller and now I'm really excited because if I can figure out how to turn that Oldsmobile thing into a vector file,
right.
I can just get it. Apparently,
Lasered.
Scott's got a big one. I can just get it lasered. I can bead roll something nice for him
Right.
once I figure it out, and waste a bunch of sheet metal,
Yeah,
and I can send that to him. So that'll be nice.
that'd be cool. Yeah,
That'd be
and
nice, get it off my ass.
it's a good compliment. Like if I can learn that shit, if I can take a file, turn it into the vector, to put it on a laser, and then then there's the depth of the laser and all that shit too.
Right.
So once I mean, look at the marketing capabilities and just the job completion. So like the van that you have, the Japanese van, if you wanted some scroll work on a piece of metal or something, like now I can run through and do some, fancy scroll work.
You bring that up. That made me think. I now have 2 broken down vans
Yes.
in my house.
Yes. That nobody really desires.
And right.
Your stable's strong.
That you can't get parts for.
That your stable is strong.
Nice.
What's the deal with the import?
I found broken injector wires, so I had to buy injector pigtails, and I'm just waiting for them to come in.
Oh, okay.
So
Did you have to get those from overseas, or was that something just on
no, it's
Amazon?
just a VG30. I bought them off eBay.
Okay.
The guy I bought them from that night, he goes, "Oh, can you leave us a good review?" Yeah, buddy, you want to wait till you actually I
Right.
mean, let's ship them first.
Right. Right. I have no problem doing that if you send me the right shit that works.
Let's ship them first. Let's get them here. How are you going to ask me to leave you a good feedback when the damn tracking number doesn't even work yet?
Hey, you should do that with every customer that comes in today. Hey, would you leave us a great review? I just walked in, bro. Like, I don't know. No, I need a good review right now before
Right
your
now.
shopping experience.
Right, yeah. Before you deal with me for too long.
All right. This,
Did Jay come in yesterday?
I didn't see him yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Well, he wasn't sure we were going to. He asked me if we were going to be open Monday, and I go, "What's Monday?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Columbus Day or something like that." And I
Right.
said, "Oh, probably. I don't know."
yeah, yesterday was the only day I didn't have to, the only Monday I didn't have to rush the bills to the mailbox before the mail lady got there.
Right.
So, that was kind of cool. All right. So, we ran an hour and 26 about nothing, really.
About absolutely nothing. That's what it's about.
Yep.
Turn your brain off and just listen to nothing.
Light a cigar.
That's the whole thing.
Right. Just listen to a couple guys talk about what the fuck's going on.
Everybody wants to provoke you and trigger you and
Pander to you.
and pander to you, and we don't. Just
We're non-panders,
non-panders at all.
but we do ask
I
you
will
to.
tell you something that is really screwed up that Jason told me Saturday. We'll end on this note. Me and Jason was in here Saturday, and we were watching. I don't remember what I was watching. Motor Trend probably.
Right.
And the St. Jude cancer children commercial comes on, right?
Right.
So St. Jude's a hospital for cancer children.
Right.
And I'm sure they do a great job.
They do.
And I'm sure it's awesome. I'm sure everything is spectacular. Those poor kids.
Right.
So on and so forth.
Right.
But Jason looks at me and he says, "You know who St. Jude was, don't you?" And I go, "No, I don't have any idea who St. Jude was." And he goes, "He's the patron saint of lost causes." So I sat there literally speechless for a few seconds, like, oh, that is screwed up.
That's kind of rough.
And before I actually said, and then that's not what I said. I said
Right.
the other word.
Right.
But and finally, when I could say something, that was the first thing I said. That is really, really fucked up. Oh my God.
That's kind of rough.
That's bad.
Sometimes patron saints have, they're the patron saint of something else as well.
So right. I don't.
Yeah.
That's just what he. I mean,
Yeah.
Jason knows. So,
Right.
So he starts laughing at my reaction to it, because I'm like, and I actually couldn't take my mind off of it for it. Like I said that like 3 or 4 times because it kept recycling in my head.
it's kind of really rough.
Man.
All right. That's terrible. All right. So now we got you all pumped up for your midweek.
Right.
So
right.
Now you know.
All pumped up for
if you win
Thursday.
an hour and 30 with us, thank you very much. We appreciate all the views.
They didn't.
They did. If you made it to the end, throw a comment up. It's getting cold. We're gonna start giving shit away. Anyway.
Throw a comment up. Keep Leo in your thoughts.
Yeah, please.
So I think we should find out what's actually going on. I think you should find out
I
what's
sent a
actually
message.
going on with Leo. And maybe we can get together with who's the other guy he watches all the time? Bakersfield Gentleman.
Yeah.
Maybe we can hit that guy up. Maybe we can do something for him.
Yeah.
So-
We need to. So get better, Leo. Hopefully, you get back to the house and you're feeling up to it. Maybe we'll come down and do a little remote one. So get you back on. Need something to look forward to. So I'll bring something cool. Is Leo smoked a Cuban?
I don't know.
All right, we'll figure something out. All right. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it. Tune into all the stupid shit that we're doing. Kevin sent me an attachment. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, he loves my idea.
He does love your idea.
He loves my. I think it's a good idea.
God damn it. Can we get it?
Is that a real one? No, we can't do it with a real one.
Well,
we
it's
do it with a half-ass fake one.
No, it's a real one. Look at that price in Louisiana.
Man,
That's cheap.
man.
It's got to have a fucking title.
It doesn't have to have a title because I know how to get around it.
Okay.
We can get around that. So,
Price is negotiable.
man.
Oh, it's painted blue now. So there's that.
Man.
I'm sure that was a.
I think that's the good. I think that's what needs to be built.
I don't even know how to fucking build that. We put the engine in the
I
back.
know how to build it. We put it right behind the cab. We might have to extend it a little bit. That's not a big deal. I've got a welder.
Are we gonna put
My fabrication skills are on display.
Are we gonna put the fuel cell in the bed, or are we gonna put it in the front?
I don't know. We'll put it somewhere. But
This is a terrible idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Stay tuned to more stupid shit.
Right. I think it's a good idea.
All right. Thanks, guys.